Okay, you all voted for this. I wanted the text-to-speech thing to sound like this.
The visuals are actually pretty impressive for the 30,000 object limit.
But it didn't work out. Now before I start I have to specify what it means for a level to be a travel level. Anyone can make a level and slap travel on the name. So I made a set of rules I followed in finding which levels to put on this list. So essentially for a level to be a part of the travel series it has to be an over 2-minute XL demon with a focus on atmosphere that is recognized by the community. Oh, and also has travel in the name. So that's how I'm considering the travel series in this video. Using that list I found 12 levels that I thought fit the description. Those being these. Now with that explanation out of the way, let's begin. In 12th place I have Ancient Travel by Hero Zombie 80. It's a 1.9 themed extreme demon. The best thing I can compare it to is a very long Heinz level. Because it is mainly limited to 1.9 effects and blocks, it has some flashing parts but not too much else effects-wise. The atmosphere it provides is just that of a 1.9 level. Some of the parts are kind of empty, but I think that was intentional. I put this at the bottom because it comparatively looks kind of I don't think it's that creative because it is just a bunch of repurposed styles from 1.9. I kind of feel like travel was added to the name because it's a long level, not because it fits well with other levels in the series. It doesn't have the sense of progression that is typically associated with travel levels because it is all a very similar set of styles. I'm not trying to say that there's anything wrong with a level like this, it's just that when I think about it through the perspective of a travel level, it doesn't really fit, so it doesn't place well on this list. Anyway, moving on. In 11th place I have Never-Ending Travel. Some people may complain about this placement, but I don't care. I know that when it was released it was considered highly, with Vipran calling it a masterpiece, but I don't think it has aged well. A lot of it is just blank, like here, watch this. I know it is this way to go with the song, but something more could have been done there. It's about 6 minutes long, with about 3 of those minutes being very empty. Although it has this problem for most of this level, there are some redeemable parts. This cloud-themed part is pretty epic. It doesn't feel much like there's travel happening, but there is some progression out of the blank parts. I feel like it would be a better level if it was only about 3 minutes long but with the cool parts. I place it above Ancient Travel because it's more original and has some very cool parts. But, you can't have almost 3 minutes of not much, so I placed second last. Anyway, moving on. In 10th place I have Nostalgic Travel, which is comprised almost completely of 1.0 blocks but with 2.1 effects. It has a similar concept to Ancient Travel, but this one looks better. The song is pretty upbeat. The rainbow colors used in some parts are stunning. The use of almost only 1.0 block really limits the potential though. Without the colors and flashing, it would essentially be a layout. As presumed by the name, they were attempting to build something nostalgic, which I don't think is a goal it achieves, because it's full of a bunch of modern effects. Although I like this level, as so far as it goes in the travel series it doesn't place that high. As I said with Ancient Travel, this doesn't have too much of a travel atmosphere, and it's only a couple steps up from being a layout. But it has decent effects, so I placed it here. Since all of it looks pretty similar, there isn't much of a travel feel to it. Anyway, moving on. In 9th place I have Quantum Travel. I have mixed feelings about this level. The level starts out solidly, but other than a few parts kind of decays over time. Glow is misused and kinda grainy in a lot of parts. Like with a lot of levels already discussed, there are kind of empty parts that I don't like. But to give credit where it is due, This city part is pretty cool and the space backgrounds despite their graininess are okay. The level parts don't really flow together like as would be necessary to feel the sensation that you are traveling. I place it above Nostalgic Travel because it has some more complex backgrounds and conveys travel better than the aforementioned levels. There's not much else I have to say about this one though. In 8th place I have Them Travel by Serpunge. At the time it was created it was one of the best levels in GD. The effects are phenomenal for a 2.0 level. This is one of my favorite levels. Also, there's this rainbow part. Now you may be asking me if you like this level so much why did you put it here? Here's the short answer. The object limit in 2.0 was 30,000 as in you couldn't go over 30,000 objects for a level. Because of the 6-minute length those objects had to be reused and stretched to make the most of the objects that were allowed. So it has a lot of reused parts with sparse details. Also, this level doesn't follow the atmosphere precedent that Lonely Travel set and is just in double XL effect level. There's nothing wrong with that, it's just that most of the level doesn't fit well with the Travel series. I think Serpunge did a good job with this level, but when it comes to what I am judging on, it doesn't rank well. Anyway, moving on. In 7th place I have Paradox Travel. Okay, imagine quantum travel, then imagine it but better. That's what this level is. It's almost like the same person made them. Oh wait. There are a lot of parts that I really like, and this boss fight. But like in quantum travel these backgrounds don't really fit together. For instance you go from Tetris to a city for some reason. A lot of the backgrounds are nice and it does feel like you are traveling somewhere. Also, the ending is super long. The last 2 minutes do not have a song, it's just visuals. This would be okay if T was mainly gameplay, but a significant portion of it is just credits. Was it necessary to add all of these? I like this level but it has some problems. Anyway, moving on. In 6th place I have Hypnotic Travel. This is the first of the serious travel levels. This one is a bit longer than the average travel level, clocking in around 9.5 minutes. It has a lot of parts that blend together. The theme is consistent and the mechanical atmosphere is nice. Like, there isn't a lot of detail with a lot of stuff but there's enough detail that it isn't blank. I like that the style is continuous. There aren't a ton of objects in one area and only a few they are spread evenly. There's also this cool part where you have to dodge portals and speed boosts. I like this level but some parts really feel out of place, like okay what does this have to do with anything else in the level? I place this level above Paradox Travel because it's more consistent in atmosphere and visual style. Although Paradox Travel looks more detailed and better in many places, I still place this higher. In 5th place I have Autumn Travel. I might be biased towards this level because I know the guy that made it, but anyway this level is pretty cool. It focuses around the autumn season which is kind of weird for a travel level. The autumn style stays consistent. The backgrounds really fit with the style too. I don't know why it's still unrated but that isn't my decision to make. I like how colorful the entire thing is, it really adds a flair. There are a couple places that could have been spiced up for this to be a better level but overly. I think it's a solid addition to the travel series, despite any problems it may have. Anyway, moving on. In 4th place I have Melodic Travel. This one is known as one of the classic travel levels. The level starts amazingly well, but then transitions to this part which I don't think fit but whatever. There's this amazing rainbow part though. The end piano part and C part are so well done, but there are parts that really lack that same sort of feel. The boss fight kinda came out of nowhere too. It's not that there is a problem with this sort of thing, it just could have been better. I placed it here because I think other levels pulled off the travel style better. In third place I have Lonely Travel. Although this level was made in 2.0, it encapsulates what a travel level is supposed to be, because it is the example and the standard to be met. I think that most levels in the series fail to meet it. It's evident that when Funny Game was creating this, he had a set of styles in mind and kept to it. Especially when it comes to things like color. The beginning of the level is only black and white, but color is slowly introduced throughout. Although it only uses 30,000 objects, it has a lot of, dare I say, details. Despite the object limit, this level pulls off, especially with the only black and white beginning. Anyway, moving on. In second place I have Deep Travel. When this first came out, I played the first minute of it and didn't think much of the level. It wasn't until a bit after YouTubers started playing it that I noticed how good it was. The beginning was kind of slow and meh, but the level evolves as it goes on. The level really shines later on, especially where the factory collapses. The level takes inspiration from Hypnotic Travel, and it's especially noticeable with some backgrounds. Some parts are kind of unoriginal, but it works out because of the theme. This level is, in my opinion, one of the better ones out there, despite a couple meh parts. Anyway, moving on. This probably isn't a surprise to most of you. Dark Travel is well liked across the community and is arguably one of Jonathan GD's best levels. This level is phenomenal. Some of the more impressive aspects are the clean transitions and fitting use of glow to improve the visuals. It follows the song more than it follows a specific theme. This is noticeable especially in places like this. This would explain why the backgrounds differ so much. The feeling of travel is evident with changes in scenery. A lot of parts reflect the sereneness of the song. It's pretty original, especially when it comes to the backgrounds and block designs. It was very advanced for its time, being built before less impressive travel levels like Hypnotic Travel. I feel like it follows and excels past the expectations that Lonely Travel set. Unlike Deep Travel, I found all the parts to be engaging. My only problem with this level is the wood style in the middle of the level. I just don't really think it fits with the atmosphere and song. Anyway, it's a pretty cool level, and I truly do think that this is the best current travel level out there. So that's why I placed it first. I think I've praised this level for long enough, so I land it here.